The world's reaction when the lights went down and the cameras began to roll was unexpected. Jim Jones, a well-known rapper with a flamboyant look and unwavering confidence, broke down live on TV. Compared to the Jim Jones we were all accustomed to, this one was different. Tonight, the sleek, self-assured performer who always seemed invincible on stage revealed an entirely different side. The camera pans in, and his face turns white as he starts to cry. His eyes begin to well up. "I'm struggling," he whispered in a broken voice that was almost audible, and a stunned silence fell over the studio. It was the TV that made people feel the strain. The fans were all caught off guard by what transpired when they were shocked to hear the truth. A close friend of his, Chrissy Lampkin, responded in an unexpected way. "Is their romance going to end now?" Every second was captured on camera. It is a family that is divided. The admirers are astonished. And it's the same question that everyone is asking. What might have caused Jim Jones to lose his mind? How is the once unstoppable power duo going to fare? Certainly, the drama is only beginning. As everything happened, the tension in the room grew to an almost intolerable level. Tonight, Jim Jones sat in the middle of the stage, looking noticeably frightened despite his usual composure. Previously, his commanding demeanor was now tinged with this weakness. Despite the fact that the cameras were rolling, the way they caught him tonight felt completely different. He was no longer wearing his sneer-like armor. The arrogant self-confidence had disappeared. Instead, Jim held his ground. His manner was uncomfortable, and his face was ambiguously emotional. One by one, this person was disintegrating right in front of us. Clearly, Jim had not been the hard-working person we had seen advance through the ranks of the industry. Guess the direction of the interview. Under the flickering studio lights, Jim shuffled in his chair and rubbed his hands uncomfortably together, while the host of the show, a well-known figure in the entertainment industry, tried to gently introduce him to the topic. A period of expectation prevailed. He looked directly ahead, and the audience held their breath. The tension had been nearly intolerable until he finally spoke. I didn't want to listen, and his voice was barely above a whisper. "Please acknowledge my difficulties." The words were exposed and harsh, hanging in the air. The passion twisted his face, and his jaw tightened as though he were physically pulling himself together. The weight of what he'd just spoken seems to have stunned him. Both in his songs and in his own life, this man has always faced life's challenges head-on. The manner in which he was suddenly exposing himself was unlike anything else. A collective gasp sounded throughout the Jim Jones studio because of his unyielding demeanor and iron resolve, as well as the fact that he freely acknowledged that he was facing a very personal problem that was strong enough to shake him. But did he have to contend with the heavy demands of celebrity or the constant scrutiny of the public? Or does the core contain something more vile and agonizing? His companion, Chrissy Lynn, shifted uneasily. She was obviously unsure of what to anticipate, but her gaze stayed steadily on Jim. Their customary fun dynamic would not have existed if she had known what he had been battling with all along. She expected him to have an outburst of this nature. There was a clear tension between them. Tonight, the weight of potentially explosive unsaid realities made their relationship feel strange and brittle. Jim trembled his hands in his lap as he spoke more candidly. According to him, "People think I've got it all figured out, that I've been through a lot. I am doing rather well. The entire globe may appear to be within my grasp. It has been more difficult than anyone could have imagined." Yet Jim went on slowly, the words weighing heavily on him. Each sentence had a purposeful cadence, as if its meaning required effort to express, "I'm not okay. I haven't been okay for quite some time." Perceiving the seriousness of the situation, the host leaned in to gently lead Jim through this emotional landscape. "What's been going on?" "The James. From the beginning, you have been a strong example. How come now?" To allow the truth to emerge naturally, unassisted, the host asked a gentle question. Jim sighed quickly, his chest rising and falling with the weight of all he had piled up inside him, threatening to overwhelm him. Searching for the appropriate words, he looked around the room. The depth of passion was almost impossible to watch. As he said, "I've been battling my own demons." His voice was full of honesty. "I've been pretending like everything's fine, but it's not. I've been struggling with anxiety and depression, and I kept telling myself that it's just part of the hustle. part of the game. After being silent for a while, Chrissy moved in her chair and turned to face Jim. Her mouth slightly parted as though she wanted to speak, but she held back. It captured her tense expression on camera: disbelief and empathy. Without saying anything, she put a gentle hand on his arm. Her amazement notwithstanding, she showed her support for him with a silent but powerful gesture. Their relationship had seemed stable until now, but her response to Jim's extreme sensitivity was obvious. At once, she brushed away the tears that welled up in her eyes, trying to keep her cool. Chrissy had always been the sensible, grounded one, but at that moment she couldn't speak. Jim said as he described the trembling in his voice. Throughout his life, he has struggled with mental health issues. He stopped to fix his gaze on Chrissy's eyes before turning back to the camera. "But it's not just me," he said. "It is felt by everyone around me. It follows me everywhere like a shadow. Despite her presence throughout it all, Chrissy has also been caught in the crossfire." Chrissy nodded gently and glanced at Jim with a worried expression. One tear fell from her eye. Obviously, she was torn between the ramifications of what he had just spoken and sticking with the man she loved. They said that time had halted. A flurry of emotion filled the studio as the audience sat in startled silence. Over the course of the interview, it became evident that Jim's issues extended well beyond his mental health. The demands of his followers, the never-ending grind of his profession, and his job's duties left him feeling lost and isolated. Gradually, he had lost his senses due to the pressure. In a voice that was almost whispery, he said, "I thought I could handle it all. There is a lot, though. Occasionally, it may be excessive. Moreover, before today, I wasn't certain to whom I could actually turn." For a brief moment, the camera switched to Chrissy, and her face spoke for itself. She was aware of his difficulties, but watching him reveal the truth live on TV made it appear even more shocking. She also felt sadness and shock at witnessing a loved one in such agony. How is their relationship going to be affected? Had it been it was something they both feared, but they never really acknowledged it? Will they be able to go through this together? Given the emotional strain in the room, the presenter made a gentle attempt to ease tension by urging everyone to prioritize their mental health and seek therapy, describing this as a brave choice. "I've tried to keep it all together, acting like everything was fine, but it's not, and I can't keep pretending anymore," Jim murmured. He lowered his eyes and became quiet, lost in idea. While the camera remained focused on Chrissy, her eyes were full of love, worry, and uncertainty, and her hand remained on Jim's arm. He had released long-suppressed emotions, and now there was no going back, which Jim and the others had to confront.